Hello, dear friends. Every soul has a different cosmic origin and also a different destiny. Opinion piece. Cosmic origin. Sama triangle. Constellation of Lyra. They migrated to Earth. Are galactic cousins. They are very much like us. Let's start. On dark nights of summer, and with a medium-power telescope, you can see the constellation Lyra, a group of stars whose name dates back to classical antiquity in Greece and Rome. Among these stars is a reddish object called the Ring Nebula, which reminds us that everything has an end. Vega, the brightest star in Lyra, is one of the brightest stars in the night sky and forms one corner of the famous Sama triangle. The constellation Lyra is not large, but it is easily identified by its star Vega, which is one of the vertices of the Sama triangle. The constellation Lyra and its star Vega are the birthplace of the first seeding of humanoid races in dense dimensions, the elven races. Lyra is one of the 48 constellations catalogued by Ptolemy. Its star is Vega, the fifth brightest star we can see from Earth. Vega would be the star origin of many souls incarnated on Earth. These elven races were the first megalithic races to be created in denser, more physical dimensions. Lyra was often depicted on star charts as a vulture or eagle carrying a lyre. Lyra is the lyre of Orpheus, who is said to have made such enchanting music that even the animals stopped to listen. Orpheus was one of the Argonauts who accompanied Jason to the expedition in search of the Golden Fleece. Origin. According to Noel Huntley, our origin is not planet Earth, but in the constellation Lyra. There were many colonized planets in the region of the sky we call the constellation Lyra. This would have been at least a few 100 million years ago. Spiritual wisdom was lacking among the Lyrians, so conflict arose with wars. The Lyrians were the original ancestors of our galactic family. Many thousands of years ago, their civilization reached a very high technological level, but fell into discord, with warring factions within their culture. These factions went to war and destroyed much of their society. Many of these things from Lyra left in their starships to colonize the Pleiades, Hyades, and Vega systems. Some of these Pleiadians with Lyran ancestors also migrated to Earth during the period of Lemurians and Atlanteans. The Lyrians have now evolved beyond the conflict or warrior stages. These other civilizations can be seen as our galactic cousins. With the development of space technology, peace-loving Lyrans departed Lyra and eventually discovered Earth, which was uninhabited. Others from Lyra went directly to the Pleiades. The journey was very long and in fact took generations. They did not have interdimensional travel. Therefore, they didn't return to their own planets. The Lyra races on their home worlds evolved in the end and transformed to fourth density, but not the Lyrans who colonized planet Earth. However, more conflicts and wars developed on Earth, causing a new division in the population. One group went to the Pleiades system. This group paid attention to their emotionally disturbed condition and focused their energy on meditation and the spiritual, as did the existing inhabitants of the Pleiades. They did everything possible to avoid any negativity. As a result, these Pleiadian beings evolved thousands of years ahead of their counterparts on Earth, where fighting and destruction continued, resulting in some 18 separate and consecutive civilizations. Lyrian race. According to Theodore Colomb, the Lyrians are some of the oldest souls in our galaxy. Their knowledge is said to have contributed to Atlantis, Mu, and Lemuria, as well as the element of fire. They come from a series of planets that are linked to the Lyra star system. They now exist in several different galaxies and thousands of different planets in dimensions up to the 9th. The ancient humanoids are very similar to terrestrial humans, although many of the Lyrian race have feline-like features and hair. Others are more bat-like characteristics. There are several morphologies: non-Caucasians with brown skin, giants up to 2.70 meters tall, redheads with fires, bat-like and feline-like dispositions. They are said to have recently transitioned to this higher plane, which is one of the reasons they are interested in helping planet Earth develop its consciousness. The Lyrians appear to be the same as everyone else because of the physical nature of planet Earth, where everything is experienced as three-dimensional. The Lyrians are here to help us realize our true nature. The Lyrians understand that the level of consciousness on planet Earth has an effect on all other parts of the universe, as everything is intrinsically linked. For this reason, they volunteer to come to our planet for the flowering of creative energy. History. The inhabitants of Lyra were present on the face of the Earth from the year 196,000 before Christ to the year 10 of our era, over a period of 206,000 years. In other words, they left our planet 10 years after Christ. In addition, the Lyra, Vegan, Orion, and Sirius A civilizations established zones of influence or power on Earth, which they defended from other groups as their own territory. The Lyra civilization evolved peacefully for 80 million years before their outward migration. At some point in their history, they were discovered and subsequently attacked by the leading reptilian civilization of our galaxy, the Alpha Draconis, who destroyed 3 of the 14 planets on which Lyra's inhabitants settled. Subsequent to that invasion, 22 million years ago, opposing factions of the races of Lyra reached such a point of conflict that they decided to migrate to other parts of the cosmos. Thus were born the embryos of what in time became new and totally independent civilizations, the Vega civilization and the Pleiades civilization. A second detachment after the Vega civilizations, the civilizations of Orion, in at least one of its star systems, and Sirius A, which is one of the 3 stars, also originated. As a product of a strategic alliance between groups from Sirius and Orion, the regressive reptilian civilization of the Nibiru was formed, although the latter do not belong in any way to our galactic family. But not only the so-called cultures of our galactic family had their origin in Lyra, but also to a greater or lesser extent the civilizations of Antares, Cygnus, Alpha Centauri, and those of Sagittarius and Cassiopeia, before they were attacked by the Alpha Draconi and some of their sub-races from the Orion star systems. Also related with Lyra is the highly evolved and ancient civilization of Arcturus, and also the populations of the interrelated star systems of Tau Ceti and Ellipson Eridani. Economics. Mike Adams believes that the collapse of the international monetary system based on the dollar is irreversible, and that the de-dollarization of the world is accelerating. The old financial system is coming to an end, wants the people who matter. Fed now launches an instant payment system. Andy Schectman proved right in implementing the BRICS decentralized monetary system, according to Robert Kiyosaki. Banking regulators are preparing to launch proposed changes to capital requirements on 27th July to bring the country's rules in line with International Basel III Accords, Bloomberg reported. A hot summer of strikes threatened the US soft landing. 1 year of the most intense rate hike in ECB history. Since 21st July 2022, rates have been raised 8th time by 400 basis points. Never since the establishment of the institution has its rates raised so intensively and in such a short period of time. China's economy is sliding towards deflation. Algeria pledges $1.5 billion to the BRICS New Development Bank. According to Goldilocks, the BRICS nations have bought massive amounts of gold. This expands the net value of their currencies as an alternative currency holding. This puts more pressure on mining companies around the world to accelerate their ability to function as an alternative source of disposable income for the world. If they are successful in creating these new functions for gold, the precious metal will be seen as an alternative global currency. Once you start censoring, you are on the road to dystopia and totalitarianism. RFK Jr. told the House Committee on Federal Government Armaments. RFK Jr. wants to back the dollar with tangible assets according to Awake in 3D. RFK Jr. unveiled his bold plan for the dollar's return to an asset-backed currency. Taking inspiration from his late uncle, he envisions a future in which tangible assets, including gold, silver, and platinum, will back a portion of the country's debt obligations. This visionary move aims to control inflation and restore the strength of the dollar. Miscellaneous. Spain sends more old Leopards to Ukraine. The United Nations reiterates its rejection of the use of cluster munitions. Film director James Cameron says he warned about the dangers of artificial intelligence in his film Terminator. A cave near Jerusalem shows evidence of its use as a portal to the underworld. It may have been a place of prophecy, where Roman-era Gentiles tried to communicate with the dead. More than 100 ceramic lamps used for necromancy were found in the cracks of the cave. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.